everyone. Thank you, Miss Ira, for that introduction. Okay, so again, welcome to our webinar for today. I just would like to know, kumusta po? Kumusta po tayong lahat ngayon? So, please do chat na lang po sa ating chat box. How are you today? Yan. Thank you, Miss Danica, for the thumbs up. Okay. How about the others po? Okay. So, can I have a confirmation if my screen is now visible to the audience? Okay, thank you very much. So, okay, again, everyone, good morning. It's nice to see that you are guys attending our webinar for today. I'd like to know how everyone is today. So let's have a little bit of interaction, okay? So if you're feeling lively this afternoon, please type one in the chat box. Okay. Ayun. So I see there's a lot of lively people. Thank you very much, everyone. Now I have another question for you guys. How about if you're excited today, please type number two in the chat box. Thank you very much. So again, it's nice to see that everyone is alive and kicking this morning or this afternoon rather. So first of all, I would like to commend our CSMP for creating this webinar for today. And let us learn why we should stop chasing updates and how we can do it effectively in the workspace, applying this to our day-to-day and improving our efficiency. Before we start, we have some polls to answer. So please answer the poll that will appear on your screen any moment now. So, ayan po. Wait lang po natin. Meron pong lalabas na poll sa ating screens. And okay. So, which of the following do you spend most of your time during work? So, for A, for our inspections, B, for our safety monitoring, C is our site progress, and D for admin work. So, I see 83% of the people here are, sorry, 71%, and nag-update lang po siya. Ngayon lang, no? Is on site progress tracking and reporting. So 14% is for the inspections, and 25% is for the admin work, approvals, and compliance. So, okay, I guess everyone has answered. So, thank you very much for answering that, Paul. So, this is just to gauge po, no, kung ano po yung ating mga jurisdictions with our task in the construction industry. So, again, thank you very much. Let's move on. So, welcome again to our webinar today titled Stop Chasing Updates, Master Field Operations with Centralized Action Tracking. So again, in this webinar, we'll be tackling the following items. So first, I will be introducing Novade 2.0 to you guys. Then let's have the action tracking for field operations. Then I'll have a live demonstration of the application. And let's have our interactive polls and Q&A right after that. So okay, without further ado, let's start this webinar. So well, one of the most common pain points we encounter across our customers is process visibility and traceability. They often mention that it's hard to monitor progress or processes and workflows, especially when it goes through a lot of people. Well, projects are really hard to manage, right? And that is why we include a lot of different people from different industries, from different trades, for us to divide the work properly. Now imagine, let's put this into a scenario. Imagine this is you. You're a safety officer of a subcon. You submitted a form which would go through three people. So let's assume that those three people are your supervisor, the safety officer of the GenCon, and the project manager. Now, this depends on your hierarchy as well. So it depends whether you have three people for this job, four people, or even two people for this job. But the point is, you have to go through multiple people. So, before you can continue working on whatever that is that you're working on, This could be an inspection request form, request for information, or any forms that are handled by yours, right, or your department. So before you can continue with your work, you need to accomplish that form, right? But the problem is you need to track down that form to set up expectations and plan out your next activities. You then go out to the document controller or whoever manages your form. So it could be your admin or whoever that is that knows probably where the form is located at the moment. You ask about the status and you hear, I don't know, the form is not yet done. The form is in department A, it's in person one, it's in person two. Well, to be frank, no specific info, just a conclusion to the potential confusion coming because paperwork is really hard to trace. Now, of course, let's switch the POV. Imagine you're the document controller, right? You're the admin. You're the one that handles all the documents that are being processed inside your project, right? You often get asked about the status of the forms. Without a digital tool, you cannot easily tell the specifics of that particular form. It's actually almost impossible to track each form accurately, right? So, well, it could take hours for you to track down each paperwork. Now, let's have one extreme example that is reported by the ALG. So, they said that a building permit took 98 days and 24 processes to to be able to be approved, right? So, imagine how hard it is to track down that form with those amount of processes. And imagine 98 days for that form, right? So, to add to that, let's look at a study from Ohio State University from Mr. Begay in 2024. He stated that inefficient bureaucratic processes, which includes our paperwork routing, will shift the focus away from actual work. This is true as forms may take a day or two to progress if logs are not updated properly. So, another thing that we would like to add to this one is that the major bottleneck is actually the review cycle. Even if the forms are filled in quickly, it's the chasing of the signatures and clarifications that can add hours, even days to the process. So, despite you being fast or hasty on the safety inspection form, right, it could still take days of delay for that process to be accomplished because of the review cycle. So, according to a study on enhancing construction project document management with mobile apps, manual documentation actually are wasting considerable time on non-value adding tasks, such as searching for files, fixing errors, or transportation of physical documents. Now, these non-value adding tasks is basically the tasks that are not really changing the forms. It doesn't contribute to the process. For example, you manually transporting the documents from one place to another, or you fixing an error that you cannot really replace. So you have to find another form, you need to fill in another form, right? So these are non-value adding tasks. So these can add up ultimately and delay the project. So now we look at the same numbers or the numbers from the same study that was mentioned earlier. It stated that a form routed to two actors, in which we could say that that would be the creator and the approver, right? So the creator of the form and whoever it is that approves that form is often completed in 1 to 2 days. Now, if we add another actor to that one, another approver per se, that could be 3 to 4 days on average. And if we add four or more actors to that one, that could lead to 5 or more days of approval, right? So this will is not really a reflection of our day to day. This is just averages, but we could not deny that this really happens, the delays, right? So in addition to this one, Philippine Statistics Authority was able to deduce where these delays are coming from. So according to them, that 30% of the construction delays were due to poor coordination and documentation issues. So now we see the problem, right? If we don't have a proper tool for centralized tracking of our documents, our forms, our processes, right? So I've been telling a lot of things early on. I've been saying a lot of facts, a lot of studies, right? So let's have a quick refresher on what I have told earlier. So we talk about the common issue. Tracking forms and approvals across multiple people is slow and unclear. Whether you're a safety officer or wherever you are in the process, the lack of visibility causes delay and confusion. And now, manual processes are actually a waste of time if they are non-value adding tasks. Like, well, as said earlier, searching for errors, fixing them, and searching for that person that needs to sign the approval, right? And of course, chasing signatures. We can conclude that the problem isn't the form, it's the process and the lack of visibility. No matter how fast the form can be accomplished, the delay comes from non-value adding tasks. And that's what centralized tracking is here to fix. So how can we fix this? So I know you know where I'm going with this, right? But Novade 2.0 is the solution for this one. This is actually a next generation field management platform that will connect your offices to your project sites in real time, and these data will be available through you, or to you rather, through cloud. So everything is up to date, everything is real time, everything is accurate, right? Now, within one single application, you can access all the tools that you need to cater their field management. So, in one device, depending on your convenience, well, Novade 2.0 can actually be accessed to your laptops, your tablets, your smartphones, depending on what is allowed on your device. So, Novade 2.0 is actually designed to connect everything seamlessly But just to clarify, internet connection is only required at any given point of time at the day. So for example, in the morning, you just need to download everything, right? And after that, everything will be ready for you even offline. So I understand some of us will be working under the basements, right? Working on areas that are hard to connect to the internet connection. Well, that will not be a problem with Novate 2.0. So let me demonstrate to you how or what Novade 2.0 looks like. So what I have here is actually Novade 2.0 in my browser. So, okay. Basically, all I need to do is access my browser and type in the credentials that I need to log in. So this is basically the same as your Facebook accounts, your Twitter accounts, your Instagram accounts. So it's like a social media. All you need to do is have an account and you'll have access to everything that it offers. So at a glance, the first thing that you would see is, well, of course, the greeting of the system. It greets you good afternoon, right? Just a little pep talk for the day. But aside from that, on the left side, we could see that all the things that we need for our field management is available to us. So we have our projects, the people involved in that project, the companies involved, the forms, tasks as well for our punch list, and of course, the most important thing for today would be the dashboards. So now, let me go to one of the sample dashboards that we have here. So, okay. So in this example, this would be the centralized tracking system that I am talking about earlier. So in this dashboard, this actually collects data from the forms that you have created. So as you can see, I have your data already for the total number of forms, how many of those are approved, how many of those are rejected. I can also see the data on who submitted it and their statistics. Well, if how many of them are approved, how many of them are rejected, and also, when we scroll down further, we could see which or how many items are in your ball in court. So, for example, you're the site engineer, right? Or you're the document controller. You need to know how many forms are in the jurisdiction of the site engineer or in his ball in court. So you can do that at a glance right here. So you can see, well, at the moment it's zero because there's none at the ball in court of the site engineer. So we'll be navigating through this later on.